Curtains Down is just one of those classic Hitman missions. Normally when you start a mission in Hitman, you kind of feel out of place as Agent 47 in his suit and tie, but here he fits right in. This feels like a place he would go in his free time. With all of the money he makes from his hits, this seems like one of the outings he would spend that money on. So this mission is similar to the previous one, A Vintage Year, in that we have two targets. The difference this time is there's kind of a linear route to getting to both of them, but at the same time within that linear route, there are kind of a few more options, at least more interesting ones. More on that in a bit. So anyways, our two targets are, and forgive me for the pronunciation, Alvaro de Avaldi, also known as Felipe Baracus in Hitman Contracts, but he was later retconned to be Alvaro de Avaldi. Which, quick side note, I love this mission because at the end of it, it pretty much goes straight into Contracts. And at the very end of Contracts, you'll see that you already have two objectives completed for the people you're supposed to assassinate, and it's the two targets in Curtains Down. So the entirety of Contracts takes place between this mission and the next one, Flatline. Just throwing that out there in case you didn't know it. When I go through these games, I like to play Blood Money up till this mission, beat it, play all of Contracts, and then jump back into Blood Money. So anyways, that's our first target, Alvaro de Avaldi. And again, forgive me for the pronunciation. So this dude is a bad guy. He is involved in some Epstein-level stuff with his US ambassador friend, Richard Delahunt. They're involved in smuggling around Europe and France. So our other target, Richard Delahunt, the US ambassador to the Vatican. He's buddy-buddy with Alvaro and into smuggling. And we know he is a huge fan of de Avaldi. In fact, he spends most of his free time in a heavily guarded private box, observing de Avaldi, rehearsing for a production of Tosca. So these two targets present challenges. We have one who's going to be on stage, that's a lot of witnesses, and we have another in a private box, and he is heavily guarded by security personnel. I think that is an incredible setup to a Hitman mission, and this is one of my favorite. I think this mission itself, just the entirety of it, is as iconic as the way that we took out our target playing the cello in A Vintage Year. But let's go back to the overall narrative of Blood Money for a minute. After A Vintage Year, the story picks up with Rick not totally convinced that the quote-unquote death of two wine guys was enough to think that some super assassin was behind it all.
The scoop of the century is a couple of wine guys getting whacked in Chile?
It wasn't the victims that caught my eye. It was their killer.
Jack's like, no, hold on. A single guy doing this? It's kind of crazy. And also, there's this opera incident on the other side of the world that happened, and we somehow connected the two. Now, if you're outside of the story, I totally understand Rick's disbelief, but I don't know, look at that face. Could you doubt Jack? I mean, look at him. The man has seen things. Anyways, that's the game's cute little setup to Curtains Down. So let's get into it. When you first walk into the theater in Curtains Down, it is just absolutely stunning, especially back on the PlayStation 2. I remember, wow, just bam, it hits you right in the face with scenery the second you walk through those doors. And I think it holds up today on PC. It looks absolutely spectacular, especially for a game this old. And it's so cool too, because at this point, this is our third mission in this game. So when the first one, we had the depressing American torn down amusement park. Then we went to a tropical paradise. And now we're in a European theater with rich architecture. I mean, come on, it's perfect. Although the majority of Blood Money takes place in America, at this point in the game, you wouldn't know it. So the first thing you're pretty much always going to want to do in this mission is go over and talk to the security guy to retrieve a pistol.
Here is your jacket, sir.
And it looks like some sort of Chinese pistol. I remember being so confused as a kid why I was retrieving this pistol. It didn't make any sense to me. Of course, now it does, and it should to you if you've played the games. If you haven't though, you'll see why. So there are a couple of disguises in this mission. There's the maintenance guys, there's your standard security disguises, there's also the private security disguises, and there's a really cool disguise that plays directly into our mission objective. The most useful disguises in this mission though are the maintenance guys for sure. Because yeah, you could walk in, get with the tour group, walk around, wait for the security guard to go off for a smoke break.
I must to step away one moment.
And then take his outfit and have the security outfit, but it takes forever, and also it's really not that useful. You'll see in this mission, timing is everything, because this mission can be extremely punishing if you're not focused on getting your objectives done in a timely manner. Otherwise, you're gonna have to wait for the actors to get on stage, do their lines, yada yada, all over again. Because basically, what we're doing here is figuring out, are we gonna hit our target when they're on stage or backstage or somewhere in between? So I think a lot of players do end up taking a trip to the bathroom right at the beginning.
I need to use the bathroom.
And getting that maintenance disguise. Although if you've never done the tour, you should do it once. The guy says a couple of interesting things.
It has been designed by the so celebrating architect Henri Rochefort Lavache.
So once you get the maintenance outfit and you go backstage, you start to see that there is more to this place than meets the eye. Yes, it's lavish and beautiful up front, but once you get backstage, it's, well, ugly and it's a freaking maze. To this day, I get lost down there behind the stage. But there's 2 really cool Easter eggs back there. And this mission actually has the most famous Easter egg in all of Hitman. So we'll start with the least famous one. So somewhere in the back rooms down here, you can find the Phantom of the Opera mask. And it's just sitting there. You can't do anything with it, but it's cool. It's there. Go see it. Now, the cool Easter egg, in this back room area, in this labyrinth, there is a room with 3 rats. You'll see a guy in there. I think he's shooting his nail gun at him. I'm not real sure what he's doing, but he seems upset that they're there. If you kill all 3 of the rats, a little key card will pop up on the table that says Rat Club. Make sure to get rid of any other rats too. Once you pick up that key card, there's an area that's a little hidden. You have to go backstage where the actors are, and there's a room that takes you upstairs to a completely separate part of the theater. And I remember the first time I went back here, I was like, what is even the point of this area? But there's a room that needs a key card, and you'll see a maintenance guy trying to get in there. Well, once he's out of the way, you can go on ahead and use that card and get yourself in there, and bam, you're now officially part of the Rat Club. Or if you're a psychopath, you can go on ahead and remove the rest of the vermin from the theater. Although they're just trying to eat pizza and play cards and box, apparently. So that's a fun, wacky little Easter egg. This hidden part of the theater, though, is also useful because it contains a key card for the lighting room, which will come in handy later. And it's the only place I know of in this entire map that has a lightroom key card. I'm sure that there's another place, I just don't know it. So when you hop into this mission, there's a couple of things you can do. You can do what I like to call the quick and dangerous method, which is you just burst into the theater, you throw a mine over the top, blow it up, shoot the actor, and run out of the theater. You could do that, but you're not going to get Silent Assassin that way, or really a good ranking, and you're probably not even going to get out alive. A method that's really freaking cool is using that maintenance outfit and just getting backstage, hiding behind the stage. And in the exact moment that the guy is supposed to use his prop pistol on your target, you can take the shot at his head and no one will notice. Eventually, your other target will come running to see what's wrong on stage. And once he's up there, well, you can say night-night, and no one's going to know that it was you. The problem is there's a lot of witnesses, but it is a really fun way to take out your target. You could also just try and shoot them both from one of the booths, but you're going to blow your cover very quickly. And of course, there's always the Rambo method, but again, that's going to destroy your rating and you're not going to make very much money. As the maintenance guy, you can make your way up to where the lighting is above the stage and plant a mine there and drop it on the actor. Not only that, but you can actually place a mine over the chandelier, blow it up, and have it fall on your other target. But that will only happen if the actor on stage has been taken out. Because when your other target's coming to see what's going on with the actor on stage, he'll trip and fall, and then that's when you can drop the chandelier on him. The problem is you need 2 mines to do it. So you can't have the lights fall, trigger him to run, and then blow the chandelier until after you've beaten this mission and moved on way later in the game. But still, it is a really cool way to get Silent Assassin. Something else that I thought was really fun about this mission is just the nail gun. It's just really fun to use. Makes a very satisfying noise, and there's just something so right about Hitman using a nail gun to get rid of targets. And like I said, this place is a total labyrinth. It's so hard to find your way around the place, but making your way up there to where the lights and chandelier are, don't just offer those 2 opportunities, they also offer a third one. Just be careful which door you open. You might end up in the ladies' bathroom. But there's a hole up there and some scaffolding you can hop down onto to take your shot at both targets. Again, it's risky and you will blow your cover if you do this. But like I said, there's that Lightroom key card next to where that Rat Club Easter egg is. So we can grab that key card and make our way to the very top level, the 3rd floor, and get into the Lightroom. And there, you can whip out your handy dandy sniper and you can take out the actor, and then when your other target runs up on stage, you can take him out too. Now, there's going to be witnesses, but you can get out of there scot-free, and you can do this pretty dang quick since you know where you're going. As a maintenance guy, you could also sneak backstage, distract one of the guards, get into the actor's room and hide in the closet and wait for him, the actor who actually carries the gun on stage, since you have the real deal, and you could just take him out and take his disguise, which is really cool. But make sure you know your marks, because somehow I kept messing it up on stage, and I ended up taking out the target in a much more, well, anger-induced way. But it is pretty neat, the idea that you can hit your marks, wait for the music to cue, and at that exact moment, take the shot and just walk off stage, no one having any idea what just happened. You could also swap the guns and have the other actor take out your target for you. So this level in particular, I think it's a nice increase in challenge from the previous one. Because of how linear it is in structure, like you're pretty much always going to need a disguise to get backstage and yada yada, but it does give you some freedom. It is kind of hard to connect the dots when you first hop into this mission, but once you do and you've played it over and over again, it is kind of fun to find these different ways. But it does kind of run out of replay value, because everything I said is pretty much all of the known ways you can assassinate your targets. Unless you know of a few. And if you do, let us know in the comments. But I just love this mission because it feels so immersive. It's so beautiful. It's interesting tackling the challenge of getting your targets. It can be insanely frustrating if you miss your beat. But I think that's so cool because just like the actors on stage, if 47 misses his mark, it's painful and he has to start all over. So with all that said, and with all of the different ways we talked about on tackling these challenges and getting these 2 targets, do I have what it takes to get Silent Assassin rank on this mission? Let's see.
The Silent Assassin Challenge.
Okay, so what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to run in here and I'm going to go ahead and get the gun from the security guy. Now I'm going to go in the bathroom, wait on this guy, sedate him, throw him into the container. All right, now onward to backstage. Now that we're backstage, let's get lost a little bit and let's find the actor's rooms. This is the actor who has the gun. This is his room, so we're going to hide in there. And he has a convenient closet for us to hide in. So after an eternity, he's in here. We're going to wait for him to leave. And we're going to swap the guns. Now while we're here, we're going to go and get the Lightroom key card. Awesome. And the reason I'm getting the Lightroom key card is it can get a little hairy if you do this downstairs. Sometimes people will go on just high alert for no reason, even if they have no way of connecting the dots that it was you. All right, so now that the guns are swapped and we've got the Lightroom key card, we should still have time. We're going to run up to the top here. All right, and we're going to place a bomb in the chandelier up here. There is a guy up here, but he should be out of the way by the time we use it. But that can cost the Silent Assassin rank if he does get hit. All right, so the bomb's placed. So now we're going to go ahead and just go change back into our suit. Again, this performance, it takes for freaking ever. All right, we got our suit. Now let's go to the Lightroom. And they are still going. Okay, and bam, he's gone. Okay, now our other target is running. He trips, he falls, cue the chandelier. Perfect. Now hopefully that bomb didn't get that guy upstairs. Let's see. All right, and we're just gonna walk out of here like nothing happened. It's all good, nothing happened. And let's see. Yep, Silent Assassin. Yes. So you can see the way this mission ticks, it's pretty easy to get Silent Assassin once you just know how it works. And yeah, you could say that for any Hitman mission, but I really think that this mission specifically, since there's such a by the numbers way that you could do everything once you figure it out, it really takes away from the replay value and makes it really easy to get Silent Assassin. It's a very beautiful map. It's really cool, but I just wish there was a little bit more freedom to it. But that's kind of asking a lot from a map from 2006. But at the same time, I like this mission personally more than a vintage year, and I have a lot of fun with it. But there are better missions in this game with a little bit more flexibility and creativity, and in my opinion, that are just a little less stressful and more fun. I don't know. I think this mission deserves 4 bullet holes out of 5. Do you agree with me? If not, let me know down in the comments. And if you do, let me know down in the comments. I do put a lot of time and effort into these level reviews. Not that you should care, that's not your problem. But it would mean a lot to me if you just, at the very least, leave a like. And if you want to subscribe and join me for other Hitman Blood Money level reviews, I'd love to have you along. I'm doing level reviews for other games too, I think. So with that out of the way, here are 2 videos. The one on the left is the previous level review for Hitman Blood Money, so that one should be a vintage year. And the one on the right is going to be something I'm recommending to you until the next level review's out, or it's that next level review. So thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, night, week, year, whatever. Just stay safe out there. Peace.